Okay, so now we have a whole lot of data in SAS that we can use to start programming. What we first need to do is actually import this data into SAS, because right now it's just a CSV file. And if we want to start manipulating the data using SAS, we need to convert it into a format that SAS understands, a SAS dataset. So to convert it into a SAS dataset, we'll just double click it. And if you have a look at the bottom here, there's a bunch of code that you can run. Now I'm going to copy it and paste it into my program. Okay, so first of all, file name, ref file. All this is doing is just setting up a variable called ref file, which is a file name, and it's just the location of the file name. So as you can see, it just says folders, my folders, so my folders, SAS user.v2, that folder that we were talking about last video, and then the file that we want to import, so customers.csv. Then there's this code to do a proc import. I won't go into too much detail about this at the moment, but what's important here is the data file. That's just the location of the file, which we've stored in ref file. Then the type of file that we're importing, so we're doing CSV, so that's what the DBMS is for. Out, that's where we're going to save our dataset. And get names, which means get the column names. So the most important thing at the moment is this line here, where we're saving our data. Where we're saving it is to the work library, and we're calling it import. So the way that you write this is you write library name dot import. Now, for the moment, we'll save it to the work library, but it's important to note that the work library is temporary. If we exit SAS and turn off our virtual machine and come back into it, this file will no longer exist. Later on, I'll show you how you can make libraries that will exist forever, because they'll just be the equivalent of a folder full of data. We'll delete this prop contents because that's just going to tell us some stuff about data, and run all this code. We'll click the running man, and now we can see we're in the output data tab, and you can see all of the columns here, and you can see all of the data. So there's customer ID, their name, their country. You can sort if you want, you just click and it'll sort. So now we have all of our customers table stored in the work library. Whenever we want to refer to it, we just have to write work.import and do something with it. If we wanted to store this as a different file name, for example, if we want to store this as customers, we would replace this import. We'll call it customers. So now if I run the code, I will have another dataset in my work library called customers. Now if we go to our libraries on the left hand side, libraries, my libraries, work. So I have two tables now, customers and import. If I click either, it'll show me all of the data inside of them in new tabs up here. And they're both identical because they're both the same import. If you're using SAS Enterprise Guide, you can use this exact code, except you'll have to change the location of your file to the location on your computer. If you don't want to do that, you can always just click File and then Import Wizard, and the Import Wizard will do all of this for you. Just essentially select your file and click Run, and it'll import it all for you.